Hello, I'm Matt Delorso, a co-founder of WealthForge, and at WealthForge, we've built the most efficient and compliant platform for processing private placement transactions. Look, all of us in this room have had to raise private capital for our businesses, and the process sucks. I wanted to make that simpler for all of us, and so we're here today to announce the launch of our Invest button, making the process of raising private capital available to you all online through our platform. Arthur, take it away.
Sure, thanks guys. So as Matt said, what we've built is the most efficient compliant platform for processing private placement transactions. Private placements are private investments in funds and alternatives, offerings, anything that's a Reg D offering, of which there were over $1 trillion last year. The challenge is that the processing can be very timely, it takes a long time, it can be expensive, and there's a lot of regulatory risk. What we've done is taken our platform, we've embedded it down into a technology that's a button, a simple button that can be put onto anyone's site. And by using our button, issuers and intermediaries or our clients, they basically can make the entire process now faster, cheaper, and much more compliant. So let's see if we can take a process that normally takes a few weeks into 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's go. Okay, so ABC Capital, I apologize for talking fast, we're gonna do this fast. So ABC Capital is an example of your site. It's your website, your logo, your font, your color. You can put up your offering, your fund, whatever it is that you're trying to raise capital for, you put up there. Your investors will go to the site, they'll see everything, and down there, that little orange button is our Invest button. That's the WealthForge Invest button. When an investor is ready, they click on the button, and immediately they're gonna come to a site that's gonna have your logo, your color, your font, but now you're on a WealthForge server behind our firewall, fully encrypted, fully secure, not only to meet FINRA and SIPC guidelines, but this technology gets audited once a year by both FINRA and the SEC. So let's get started. Let's say we want to put $1 million into this particular investment. We put $1 million, we hit the button. First thing you're gonna notice, we come to a screen that shows you all the steps in the process. People like that. 1, 2, 3, they know what's about to happen. Next, we can handle individuals, we can handle institutions, it doesn't make a difference. Whatever the investor is coming through, the system will ask them to complete the appropriate fields just for them. If you want to use our API, you can be pushing through in real time information about the investor, so everything that we're entering in here manually will start showing up automatically for the investor. It's going to ask about employment, accreditation, we only handle accredited investors on our platform. Suitability questions, we have standard suitability questions that we use for everyone, however we can customize the suitability to match our clients' requirements. And then once they fill out the suitability questions, we're gonna click next and go to the next screen. On the next screen, what you're about to see is that we've built a very basic data room, but a data room nonetheless. Every piece of document that we receive from our client, we've done third-party due diligence on, we've done third-party bad actor checks on, we reviewed, we've uploaded in the proper place, and the investors can open them, see them, print them, save them if they want to, but more importantly, we know it opened up. One of the biggest challenges for raising private capital, whether it's debt or equity, is ensuring that when the person signed the agreement, they actually knew what they were signing. We can track the keystrokes. We know if they came in on a Monday and it signed on a Tuesday that it was done, or if their lawyer logged in. Let's click continue, go to the next screen. Next screen's the money. How are we getting the money into this account? We can do ACH, we can do check, wire transfer, self-directed IRA with places like Pensco, great partners of ours. Let's just do an ACH to see how that works, which happens to actually be our most popular one. So we Joe the investor, put our money in ACH, put our account information in, put in, confirm the amount of money. We're gonna click that button, and that's it. That's it. That's all the investor needed to do. And now the years of work and analytics and millions of dollars we put into building these analytics is taking effect. The system is now going through and evaluating the deal or the opportunity and all of the due diligence we did, comparing it to the information about the investor, and the system has put together a set of documents just for this investor to execute, just for this deal, so no two sets of documents are ever exactly alike. So here they're gonna sign off on the PPM. They're gonna sign off on federal documents such as W-9, W-8. They're gonna sign off on K-1 confirmation, how you want that title. No one wants to be redoing that. We're even going to a state level, and we're gonna be signing off on state level documents. In this particular case, New York State documents are gonna show up for non-residents investing in a New York State LLC, which most people don't realize need to be done before you can break escrow. This stops people from Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon running around trying to get people to sign so you can get your money out of the, into the operating account. Once you execute all these documents, that's where the real fun happens. We're gonna do this in about 2 minutes and 12 seconds. All this information goes to our back office where we start processing. We're going to do everything as required by law. We're going to do background checks, FinCEN, OFAC, AML. We're going to do LexisNexis check. We're looking for divorce, litigation, history of litigation. We're going to do what's called suitability. We're going to do know your client. One of our registered Series 24 principals is going to review all the information. We're going to sign off and assume responsibility and liability for this transaction. If all that goes through okay, we open up an escrow account, wire the money from the investor into the escrow account. We'll keep repeating that until we hit the minimum to break escrow. Let's say the minimum's about 10.2 million. We'll call you up and say, hey guys, great news. You have about $10.5 million in the account, 42 investors. Here's a list of all 42 investors. Here's all the background information. Here's why we like them. Do you want to accept them? We still give you guys the opportunity to push back anyone you don't want in your deal. You'll go through and say, hey, Arthur, this was great. The first 41 guys are terrific. This last guy's from the East Coast. We hate East Coast people. Kick them out. So we'll kick out the people you don't want. We'll break escrow, wire the money to your operating account. We'll do state and federal filings as requested. We have a special deal with Standard & Poor's to actually start creating QSIP numbers so that the investor and their advisor can start tracking this. We do what's called books and records. So for up to 7 years, we'll retain all this information as required by law. And the real reason everyone likes WealthForge is this. Every step in that process that I just went through at 1,000,000 miles a minute, you guys can now see in real time. So you can see who's logged in but hasn't signed, who's signed but hasn't wired, who's wired but it hasn't gone through AML, who's gone through AML but not suitability or know your client. You as our clients can log in. You can see what's going on with the process. Your partners can log in. Your CPA can log in. The investors have their own login. They can log in, invite in their spouse, their financial advisor. But at the end of the day, all this data is data, and then our API lets you push all this data back into your systems. And that's what we do.